All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to look at the human body in a way that is, well, it's probably completely different from how you've ever thought about it before. Forget the idea of a biological machine. We're talking about your body as a whole universe, just in miniature. Pretty wild, right?
So let's just start with a really basic question. What is your body? Seriously, think about it for a second. What is it to you? Is it just this vehicle that carries your brain around? A bunch of cells and organs? Maybe something you need to keep in shape or, make look good? Just hold on to whatever answer popped into your head. Most of us, especially in the West, we tend to think of our bodies like a car, a really complicated biological machine, right? Something breaks, you go to a specialist to get that part fixed. But Taoism, wow, it presents this absolutely incredible alternative. It says your body isn't a machine at all. It's a living cosmos, a sacred landscape that's deeply, fundamentally connected to, well, everything.
Okay, so how do we even begin to wrap our heads around that? Well, it all starts with this core idea in traditional Chinese thought, and that's the idea that the human body, it's a direct reflection of the entire universe. The fancy term for this is body-cosmos isomorphism, but don't let the word scare you. It's actually a pretty simple but profound idea. It means your body isn't just in the universe, it kind of is the universe, just shrunk down. Think about that. The very same patterns, the same forces, the same deep structures that shape the stars and the planets, they're all happening right now inside you. And look, this is not some modern New Age concept. This is ancient. I mean, check out this quote from the Inner Canon of the Yellow Emperor. We're talking thousands of years ago. They saw these direct connections everywhere. The 365 days in a year, that matches the 365 joints in your body. The great mountains on Earth, that's your shoulders and your knees. The stars scattered across the night sky, believe it or not, those are your teeth. It's this incredibly detailed one-to-one map.
But it's not just about matching up body parts to things in nature. It goes way deeper. It's also about processes, about how things work. You've probably seen the yin-yang symbol. That represents this constant, dynamic dance of opposing but complementary forces. And then there's the 5 agents, or wuxing, which are all about these cyclical flows of energy. The wild part is, these aren't just cosmic principles out there somewhere. They're believed to be the very same processes that are running the show inside of you, regulating your health, your emotions, your entire life force. Okay, so that's the general foundation in Chinese thought. But then Daoism comes along and takes this whole idea and just launches it into another dimension. It becomes this rich, almost mystical vision of an entire inner world.
And here's the key shift. For Taoists, the body stops being just a passive map of the universe. It becomes a living spiritual landscape. It's an active territory. It's a sacred space. It's a place you can actually explore, a realm that you can transform through spiritual practice.
And this is where things get really fascinating. This leads to the idea of the body as pantheon. So just imagine for a second that your body isn't just flesh and bone. Imagine it's a sacred temple, a grand palace bustling with gods, spirits, and all these celestial officials. This idea, this is the very heart of the Taoist inner landscape. Let's unpack that a little, because it is just wild. In this inner universe, your organs, your liver, your heart, your lungs, they aren't just lumps of tissue. Nope. They are actual deities, divine officials in a kind of celestial government that's running inside you. Your body literally becomes a conduit, a direct line to the supernatural. And it's not all good news either. There are even, let's call them malevolent forces, like the legendary 3 corpse worms. The story goes that these things live inside you, and on certain days, they sneak out and fly up to the heavens to tattle on all the bad stuff you've done.
So you might be asking, okay, why? Why go to all the trouble of mapping this crazy inner world and visualizing all these gods? And the answer is, it's about something much, much bigger than just staying healthy. It's all about the ultimate goal of Taoist practice, the search for transcendence, a genuine path to what they called immortality. See, from this perspective, your body contains 2 possible futures, 2 destinies built right in. The first one is the default path, decay, dissolution, death. But the second one? That's the path of transcendence, the path of immortality. And the crucial thing is, the choice of which path to walk is up to you. It's something you actively cultivate. And check this out. This is literally a map for that second path. It's called a Shuzhen 2, or a chart for the cultivation of perfection.
And yeah, it looks super complex because it is. It's pulling in all sorts of concepts from things like the I Ching to show the flow of energy in the body. But you don't have to be an expert to get the main idea. Just think of it like a spiritual GPS. It's a detailed guide showing you all the routes, the waypoints, and the different stages you have to go through to reach that immortal state.
Now, here's a really important point. This kind of immortality isn't a gift from some god up in the sky. It's something you have to forge yourself from the inside out. That's why the practice is called internal alchemy. It's all about taking the raw materials you already have, your life force, your breath, your spirit, and refining them, turning them into something pure, something powerful, something that lasts.
Okay, so let's pull back for a second. What does all of this actually mean for how we see ourselves? I mean, it completely turns our modern ideas about the self on their head.
There's a scholar, Stephen Bokenkamp, who says it so well. He explains that the whole point of seeing the body as this pantheon of gods is to bring all these different parts of you together, to fight against that natural tendency to fall apart, and instead return the self to psychophysical wholeness. In other words, it's a total rejection of that split we always make between mind and body. Here, they're one and the same.
And that brings us right back to this powerful symbol, the Tai Chi. In the Taoist view, the body is not a battlefield. It's not some pure spirit trapped inside corrupt flesh. Not at all. It's a space where all these opposites, spirit and body, heaven and earth, even life and death, are meant to come together in a beautiful, dynamic harmony. The goal isn't to escape the body. The goal is wholeness.
So let's leave it there. It's just such a profound, mind-bending shift in perspective, isn't it? And it really leaves us with one last thing to think about, a question for you to take with you. How might you live your life differently if you stopped seeing your body as a possession, something you have, and started seeing it as a sacred, living cosmos that's been entrusted to your care?